We'll wait for 2 3 minutes because I think people are still joining. So we'll start at 10:03, 10:04. Okay, I will start the session. It's already 10:04. So hello everyone. Good morning. I am Shikha Singh, volunteering as Vice President Professional Development at PMI Mumbai chapter. I hold a BE in Production Engineering from Mumbai University, Green Belt in Lean Six Sigma, and PMP certified from PMI. Professionally, I'm working at LRQA Inspection Services India LLP at Mumbai and having over 18 plus years of experience in operations of inspection services and right now handling global projects. So I welcome everyone for today's PM Forum session. So PM forums are a format used by the Project Management Institute chapters for discussion and networking among project professionals. PM forums can be a valuable way to stay up to date on industry trends, learn new techniques, and build relationships with other project managers. So today's topic is really special from the project management point of view, and that is strategic EI, emotional intelligence, and personality alignment for project and program excellence. And to present this topic, today's speaker is Mr. Sunil Shetye. He's the founder of Sumira Life Management. He's a life coach and healer. Sunil Shetye is also featuring in Silicon India, a leading business enterprises and industries magazine as India's top 10 prominent life coaches 2025. His LinkedIn profile is uh, posted in the chat box. Please connect with him. I'm posting right now. So a brief introduction about Sunil sir is Mr. Sunil Shetty, a remarkable individual who embodies the powerful synergy of corporate acumen and profound spiritual insight. With over 27 years of extensive leadership experience in demanding project and program management role at global giants like Wipro and Siemens Ltd. Sunil possesses an intimate understanding of the corporate landscape's complexities. Complementing this, his dedicated 15-year journey into spirituality, meditation, and yoga has uniquely deepened his expertise in unlocking human potential. Sunil Shetye stands as a bridge between high performance corporate demands and the essential principles of holistic well being, bringing a truly transformative perspective on how personality, emotional intelligence, and inner balance are the true drivers of sustainable success. Please note today's PM forum has 5 topics, and after each subtopics there will be a question and answer. So I will read one by one the 5 subtopics. Topic 1 will be understanding individual personality blueprints, the duality factor. Topic 2 will be the power of emotional intelligence, EI in project management. Topic 3 is optimal role alignment and strategic talent deployment. Topic 4 is navigating complex project dynamics. Topic 5 is lifestyle management for sustainable performance. So please post questions in the chat box and same will be answered at the end of every subtopic by the speaker. So I request Sunil sir to start his session please. Thank you.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Currently, my the first slide is there, right? I shared it actually.
Yes, it has been visible. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Um, I'm Sunil Shetye, founder of Sumira Life Management Private Limited. Just would like to give you a brief about myself. I'm also a hardcore engineer. I worked for the companies like Siemens and Wipro for almost 27 years, and I was handling, the big project deliveries, project managements, and program managements. Majority on the banking sectors, and then I was handling even the Lavasa project also as a program director. And I used to do a kind of meditation during this time also. I don't know how it got enabled. And my entire the personality was a perfect technical kind of this thing. I used to repair the computer also, and then I switch over to a kind of the handling the deliveries, handling the customers, and all those things. I handle somewhere around 1,000 to 5,000 crore kind of businesses portfolios, and almost 500 people were reporting to me during all the kind of the project management, and I handle multiple projects also. So, okay, this is what is my just the corporate introduction, and after that I completely aligned myself onto a kind of a spiritual activity. That was my soul calling, and I dedicated myself into a kind of a complete spiritual path. So my path began, and I joined some of the spiritual leaders organizations also for a very short time frame, and then I decided to purely dedicate myself onto kind of meditations and spiritual practices and all that. And then since then I was doing all these things. Means almost 15 years. That was the soul journey of my spirituality. The I mean, After gaining some kind of abundance knowledge of all this, the meditation, very advanced yoga practices, and all those kind of the travel, which gave me a lot of abundance, and I basically wanted to share this particular thing. So I came out with a kind of I came out with a book. My book name is Soul Journey of Human Being. So after perfect understanding, I published this book. And uh, this book is complete, a bible of, you can say, the complete information of the consciousnesses. Consciousness is a kind of uh, you know uh, uh, a different topic for the, the material life, because our material life exists in a kind of physical form and all that. And uh, consciousnesses are basically in a kind of where we cannot give you, or we cannot show you. They are not in a physical form, that is what is. But then consciousness exists within you, and I'll touch base on all those consciousnesses, faculties, and how they are made up of. But after publishing book, I mean, I have given the complete information about the consciousnesses. My second book, upcoming book, is related to the alchemy energy management of the uh, human beings, and the third one is purely on the mind, means how to manage mind, how to control mind. But three, and during all this book publications, I found my company also, Sumira Life Management. I mean, uh, my company Sumira Life Management completely focusing on to the lifestyle management, the personal growth. And it gives a complete a kind of road path to the individuals to come out of their own issues, the how to do a kind of meditation practices, how to do a kind of yoga practices, exercises, healing and self healing. So all those things are covered. And along with this sumiralife.com, that is what is my company website. I mean, all services are available. At the same time, I came out with a learning management system now. And this learning management platform is on the sumiralife.in. So this platform gives a complete, the guidance onto the individuals, corporates, and the community for on the the health and mind management. So my specialization is on the the human health and the mind management and mind wellness. So typically, uh, the categories, you can say that how to transform someone, and you are having the issues, then guide them in the personality. Like, I mean, it's a kind of lifestyle management, how to adopt it. So, I mean, last year I've received India 5000 MSME 2024 award. And this award was given by the reputed organization. And this award is for, obviously, for the the health and mind wellness category. And last week only I received another award from the Silicon India magazine about the prominent top 10 prominent uh, life coach. My specialty is basically a kind of understanding the personality parameters, personality, and basically give them a guidance in terms of yoga, exercises, meditation practices, and and what is important is the self healing, and transform that person from one stage to another stage. So this is what is where basically I am. What exactly I wanted to tell you in a very short term is, we exist in a consciousness world. We are exist in a consciousness form of personality. Our personality and everything exists in a consciousness form. Our mind, everything, and we represent ourselves by our physical body in this material world. This is very very the unique statement I am basically making it. And I'll explain it to you, because this today's topic is a EI. Again, it's a personality, so we'll go deep into that. But our existence in the consciousness form. This entire project is basically enhancing the project and program management through personality and emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, what I'm going to talk about is totally a kind of human behavior, human personality, and their various parameters of human beings, and how they basically affect the program management, project management. This is a kind of if you divide the entire world, the project management is maybe one kind of activity, and where exactly we are basically engaged in day to day activity and planning and all those things. So how human factor is basically or the your behavioral factor, your personality factor is basically uh, uh, you know affect and enhance or control your project management and program management. So we'll go deep into this particular understanding, and I'm pretty sure that going through my presentation you will get a amazing discovery about yourself. This is a very important thing. You will discover yourself in a different form. At the same time, you will also find yourself in a form of judging the other people in a different kind of lens. So that lens and everything will be possible if you'll focus on my each and every sentences. And obviously our personality has got the a kind of this personality has got a work life balances, the lifestyle management and everything. So along with that, we worked also for the company, we work for the families, so everything is basically handled by this personality. So I have covered this entire project into a 5 topic. And right now, if you'll see the topic number 1, which is in blue color, you'll find when I'll switch over to the topic number 2, all slides will be having that specific color. So the first one I will be focusing on to the the how the individual personality blueprint. Blueprint means it's a personality, and you can call this personality in a various terms like emotional intelligence, hate driven, heart driven, and so on. So this is where actually I'll be taking you. The topic 2 will be on the complete focusing on to the emotional intelligence. This is the corporate world, or this is the term which is commonly known. And the third one is basically I'll try to give a kind of the focus on to the optimal role alignment and strategic talent development. So we will discuss over there in terms of how the role alignment is given, and how the talents are developed actually. And this is purely not purely on the personality side, and your the consciousness side. This has got nothing to do with the technical kind of things. But remember, you do whatever, you represent yourself from the personality perspective. So you take a decision, do everything from your personality. So even though you're a technical person, even though you're a leader, all those things, but then you represent yourself. So that is where exactly this topic 3 will be. And we will see the navigating the complex project dynamics. Means I have got a vast experience on the the various project management. And obviously I would like to give you kind of the guidance, or the the abundance, or the information from from personality perspective. Means how individual personality basically affect the project management, and how to basically take care of this, control this, all those things. And obviously the last topic is lifestyle management for sustainable performance. This is really really important. Why? Because we have a kind of different personality. Everyone is a unique personality, has got a kind of uh, a kind of situations where they uh, come across a different kind of challenges. The challenges, let's say, even the group, the one person challenge, the second person challenge, third person challenge, are totally different. So these people has got challenge from the corporate side, working side, as well as their relationship side, their surroundings, their situations and all that. So there exactly the lifestyle management comes into picture, and how to take care of it. So this is how, what is my the overall the overall the content which I'm going to cover. This is the first thing is the is a very interesting one that we are I'm going to talk about the duality. If you'll see the picture also, this picture is, one is on the left side, one is on the right side, and there is a kind of circles are there. So these circles are maybe you can take it as a kind of the energies or the consciousnesses which are built up. Now these two persons are basically one person. We exist in this material life in a duality form. Each and every item in this basically in this material life has got two values. Let's say the uh, in and out, hot and cold, north south, east west, emotional intelligence. Now this particular term has come, is a duality. So everything is basically has got a two value. Even computer also works in a duality, means on and off. It is basically a kind of binary. So here everything is basically represented by the two side of parameters. And what happened is we select this particular parameter based on our personality. So the duality means basically that exists in us. We have everything in dual nature. You see our entire body, our physical body, our all organs, even everything has got the two things. So left and right, this thing. So it is, you can say the duality exists in us. The same way our personality is also having the duality parameters. It exists in a duality. And what happened is, when I'm saying duality of personality, means you develop your duality from your past to present experience. Remember this. Our personality form based on your past to present experiences. Now, this particular personality exists in our you know uh, our consciousnesses. They are basically called in a different a kind of terms like yin yang or hot, or the consciousnesses, mind, emotional intelligence. But then I'll for the for understanding all of you, I'll be basically maybe using the only two kind of terms. One is a personality, which is the whole thing altogether of our personality, and emotional intelligence is a kind of subset of the personality. Means there are in case of emotional intelligence, or the head driven or heart driven, is basically limited to some kind of personality parameters. We'll see into that. In our personality, as I said, every organ has got two, but then in our consciousnesses, it exists in a kind of a kind of in a different kind of consciousnesses. Means it's not only one consciousness which you can say basically you can define. There are various consciousness elements present in our body. We have physical body. Along with this physical body, we have three consciousness bodies. One is a etheric body, one is a emotional body, and the third one is a intelligent body. These three bodies basically comprises of your personality. This is basically a kind of this is basically a kind of your accumulation of your experiences, your mindset, attitude, and belief system exists in this particular bodies. So along with these bodies, one is one way you can say this is basically a kind of operating system. The overall operating system, one part is basically a kind of the bodies in a form of etheric, emotional, and mental. Mental is obviously a kind of logical intelligence. Emotional is basically a kind of heart driven, and etheric is a energy. So these are the three bodies. Along with that, we have got a term called as a chakra. So chakra is basically, you can see a wheel of fire, or we can imagine chakra as a kind of interfacing mechanism, which is in between your consciousness bodies and your physical body. So chakra basically is in between, where it basically take the whole thing from consciousnesses and try to transfer whole this thing into your physical body. This is little bit tough for all of you to understand, but I'm giving you this particular information for a better understanding in the emotional intelligence. So along with the chakra, we have a kind of the decision maker who we have built up is called as a mind. Mind has got a complete power about your operations. Mind is not a brain. Mind exists in a consciousnesses, and brain in a physical way. So what exactly is happening is your consciousnesses are basically loaded into your brain for the processing, and all your processing is done by a brain. So it's a CPU, central processing unit. It doesn't have any kind of logic. It just takes the input, and with the speed it just produces output. But everything is in the mind. So along with the mind, we have chakras, and then we have energies. Consciousness energies are in two forms. The first one is basically is a kind of, we call it as a primary alchemy, which is everyone is using it. The second one is a kundalini, which is basically uh, activated, which is activated in an advanced stage, and that is the kind of divine power, and that is the energy. So we have a etheric body, which is an accumulation of all these things. So, but then when I say three bodies, out of these three bodies, one body is the energy, which is required for both the uh, emotional body as well as mental body. So that's why we have only the duality exists on that. Energy is required for both. So the when I say the duality, basically it is basically also all these things are connected with the meridian forces. So we have left meridian, we have right meridian, and this is how basically the entire consciousness basically are exist in our body. We have a, a, a personality which exists from our past to present in a consciousnesses. We have complete interfacing of this with the chakras, and then the chakras basically regulates all our physical bodies, and they terminate all those things onto via glands. So if you'll see gland, it's called as a ductless kind of things. So how the glands get the information to produce a hormone is basically based on this consciousness outputs. So we have got the seven chakras. We start from the base to the top. The first chakra is the root chakra, which is at our base of spine. The second one is the sex chakra. Third one is a navel chakra, which is represent the entire energy system. And the fourth one is a heart chakra. Fifth one is a throat chakra and eyebrow chakra. And then seventh one is a crown chakra, which connects your human, the humanity or the human to the external dimensions world. So this chakra and this chakra basically also governs the nearby parts. For example, heart chakra, which is at the center, not heart, is basically govern the entire heart area. Navel chakra represent your kind of energy systems, your stomach and all those things. Root chakra is your base of spine, your the below west portion, so on. I mean, the throat chakra is for responsible for the thought. It is basically connects all the chakras from the back end. So this is how all chakra functions. Now, how this particular is basically when I'm saying the duality, how the duality is basically, exists in our body is in the form of emotional body, mental body. This is our the duality exists. And then both both bodies or the both institutions basically do not understand each other. Emotional parameters do not understand the intelligence parameter. Intelligence do not understand the emotional parameters. Only one person basically can control, which is your mind, which exists in between. So mind takes both the the input, and basically based on your again past to present accumulation, mindset, attitude, and belief system is basically take a call. So let's say leading versus following. I mean, all those duality pairs. We try to see how the duality exists. Let's say leading versus following, then planning versus adapting. So all those personality, whatever is formed based on your past to present experience, environment, upbringing, you have formed yourself. So you have formed your duality. So what happened is, let's say some people are emotional. Why? Because their past to present experiences, their path, they become a kind of the emotional. And when they face such kind of things, experiences, good or bad, they develop their faculties, which I said, meridians, chakras, and the alchemize. So all those things are based on your own the path. And this is how your personality form. Let's say the 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 scientific person, he's basically, what happened is he keeps on doing the kind of research, and he's completely work on the kind of scientific formula. You show me the kind of rules, regulations very clearly, then only I can believe. And then he purely work on the physical presence. So there exactly he what happened, he start developing all those things, and then he start using those things for other side also. This is very important. So his personality form is kind of the kind of a complete discipline kind of things, or he works on a rational kind of things, he works on the proof, that kind of personality. Let's say leader goes through a tremendous kind of traumatic things, and he develop his emotional bodies. And that's how he basically work on the kind of emotional side more. And then ultimately he becomes the expert on that. But then the issue is his intelligent side or the logical side basically is not more utilized. But then leaders are basically, I mean, they touched on the kind of emotions and all. Let's say a kind of analyst. The analyst is purely work on the kind of databases. Day in, day out, they work on a database, and it is very clearly past to present. So whatever decision they are going to take, they take a kind of decision based on the data. Otherwise, they will say no. This because they, there are two kind of systems. One is a past to present and present to future. So your emotional kind of thing, or emotional kind of things works from present to future. It's based on the opportunities, based on the kind of things can happen. It can start with a zero. The the intelligence part is based on the past to present. Even though they work on the kind of future, they work on the past database. Otherwise they will not, because it is a complete inside the box, which is the kind of intelligence. It will go through the databases, it will go through the kind of proofs, it will go through the pattern, and then they will come out. That is what is the intelligence part of it. And I mean, you focus on this particular intelligence, and you'll come to know your project management is basically a kind of a complete framework which we are talking about, a kind of past to present, and the present to future, that is the emotional, which is purely used on the kind of relationships and all that. So uh, what happened is, you, because of your profession, because of your surroundings, you enter into kind of personality where it basically start taking the only one pattern. means from past to present or present to future kind of things actually, based on your professional things. And then you use those particular because along with that your all uh, consciousness parameters are also basically getting developed. So what happened is that one you shift onto the one side, and the other side is basically a kind of weak or not developed. So you are a very good, the person in terms of science, in terms of professions like lawyer, professions like strategist, professions like a leader. But what happened is your other side, because of your professional day and day activity involved into that, you shift onto one side and the other side is basically affecting you. This is very, very important. So here I'm talking about a kind of personality where you getting into a kind of situations where you're really, really, good on one side, but suddenly during that time the opposite side is basically, which is your weak side, will start affecting you. We will discuss this into the yin yang kind of things in my next slides. So this is where the personality blueprint or the personality basically of the individual. That way, even you can say the blueprint of the organizations also. Everything has got a blueprint. Let's say some organizations are a kind of very encouraging to the the employees. Some people are some organizations are task manager, hire and fire rules. Those personalities also exist into the corporate world. And everywhere, means you go to the kind of even the kind of consciousnesses like the friend circle, or even so this particular groups coming out with the kind of their own blueprint. And that blueprint is basically some of the other way go on to one side. So you'll have to really see whether you are entering into the balanced kind of organizations, balanced kind of situations. My if you'll see, when I say duality, means your one side, other side, there is nothing, you know good and bad. It's a dichotomy, because everything has got a left, everything has got a right, and this is what is the material world. This is what is the material world. So in case of, let's say, project management is, somewhere I mean, whatever I have basically the knowledge and the kind of experiences, the entire project management team works on the kind of intelligent driven. Your at least internal things, I'm talking about the how project works internally. Externally, you required emotions, that is also there. So let's say our uh, you are basically working with the kind of internal requirement as well as external requirement, because you are passing on this particular you're creating this project, you are implementing the project scenario, and basically you are you know connecting with your stakeholders. And this, while doing this project, you also have a kind of team within you. You have a a kind of risk assessment, you have all those kind of things there. So you require a kind of people who are basically is going to responsible, or they can give a justice to that specific role. Let's say the PMO role, project management office role, this role requires a complete kind of discipline. Means he has to do a kind of complete understanding, follow with the time, recording everything, minutes of meeting, and very clearly following with everyone. It's required massive kind of discipline, and he should be having the more qualities in terms of intelligence. The relationship manager on the other side, he is basically should be an empathetic one. He should understand customer problem, all other problems. And basically there exactly the relationship manager basically has got more the emotional kind of parameters, where he works on the emotions. And that is how the salespeople are. They convince the people, they convince the customer. not on the kind of intelligence. They convince the people based on some touching to their emotional parameters actually. And this is how, that's why in organization also you'll find the two kind of the streams. One is customer facing and one is internal, the team. This is how basically various roles are basically within our this things. Even the the team lead requires a kind of emotional kind of parameters also, because he need to understand the emotional side. He just the leader, it's a kind of leading things, so he needs to develop his the emotional portion, and understand the why this is happening, what is the emotional parameter which is affecting this. So being as a project thinks, he may be a kind of taken based on the kind of discipline intelligence, but emotional parameters affects. There are personality, diverse personality basically exist. I mean, let's say a creative person is a kind of he develop his chakras or the personality in such a way that he's a kind of emotional driven, and he has developed his communications. So you see all actors, you know writers, all those are basically a kind of creative people. The project manager, let's say the proper certified project manager, he basically go on developing his communication skills, and
Sunil sir, you are there?
goals in this and that. It's just a kind of you know we have a line, but ultimately on a soul level we are just transformed. We transform upward, we transform downward, remember this. Then you know when I have given you this particular kind of personality information, we'll discuss about detail in the emotional intelligence next slide. But then you understand basically what is the how this particular consciousnesses are developed, how the personality is developed. I'm sure now onwards, I mean, if you'll take my the complete understanding, you will start looking at each and every personality. How this personality has got the person who is looking in front of me, he's in a different way. So we see the entire world, we see the entire world from our personality build up. So the other fellow also goes on from his personality perspective, and he has built it. He see the things. We see the things from our experiences. So this is my blueprint. This is his blueprint. Both are unique. Based on their past to present experience, there is nothing common. In this, common means all those emotional intelligence parameters are there. They varies, and they varies, and then your development of your consciousnesses, faculties chakras,
Sir,
meridians,
we are not able
purely
to
based on
hear
your
you.
own travel, past to present. So
Sunil sir,
that
we
is
are not
first
able
thing what you
to.
need to do is to understand yourself. Okay. And then we'll basically, try to understand how the emotional intelligence in a different way. Now now we'll take the question and answers. Can we open up the floor? I mean, one second.
Sunil sir,
Shikha, can you
yeah.
see the presentation?
That is why I was telling that presentation is not visible and your camera is also not working. So can you please check once again? Meanwhile, I will request all the participants to please post your question for this subject subtopic, which is understanding individual personality blueprints, the duality factor. So I request participants to please post their questions. Otherwise, we will move ahead. Meanwhile, Sunil sir, can you check your camera and presentation, please?
The camera went
Yeah,
off
now
actually.
oh, camera is working now.
Yeah. Camera is working now, but can you see my yeah. No presentation I have come. Can you
Hello,
see my
everyone.
presentation now?
Not yet. Meanwhile, I will request all the attendees to please post their questions in the chat box, and that will be answered by the speaker. Otherwise, we will proceed for the next topic.
Screen is short. My presentation is there.
It's not visible till now. You can share and unshare again.
I don't know what's happening.
Sunil, can you share the screen?
Yeah, I have shared just now, but then one second.
I'm telling Sunil from PMI Mumbai chapter. Sunil,
Can
please check.
yes, sir, you can try again if you want to share.
Yeah, I have tried now. Is
Your
it visible now?
screen is there, but not presentation.
Yeah, presentation. I'll put it. Is it there?
Yes.
Yes.
Sunil sir, meanwhile, there is one question from Priyanka Tripathi. She's asking, people are sometimes good to you, but the decision made by them is opposite to their behavior. So, how this can be explained? Like, they are like, they will be good on your face, and by back of, like, on your back, their behavior is different.
Their behavior is a personality, isn't it? I mean, that's how you need to understand. They might be good with you as a kind of day-to-day activity or depending on the situations, but in back end, their whole personality just so you need to understand a person from their blueprint perspective, not from how they react to you, how they do, connect with you. They might be a good with you because of the situations and all that, but in the backside they will stab you. Based on their personality, or in the backside they will also behave with good with you. That is their personality. So understand people from their personality perspective, not the face value. That's where you understand people. Maybe you understand based on your emotions. You are more on the emotions, so you take the face value of that person. But remember, that person has got his own way of taking the decisions, and that is based on his personality. Your personality, you judge that person based on the emotions, based on his behavior, based on his appearance and all that. But ultimately personality takes a decision. So his personality has basically taken a decisions. Remember this. If he has done that, take a kind of complete understanding of his blueprint, and then only you know. So there are two portions in any kind of decision makings: emotional intelligence. So take the view of the situations from both the side.
Okay, thank you, Sunil sir. The other question is from Harish M. He's asking, is duality a good thing for any manager?
See, we will cover this particular topic about the duality, because these dualities exist in you. And as I said, duality has got two parameters. So you have developed both of these parameter, or maybe one side of this parameter, the other side is weak. So in any way your existence is in the duality. But depending on the the kind of role you are playing, where you're working, where you're doing a day-to-day task, you shift to the one side. Like you say, my manager, I will say the opposite side is leader. There is a difference between manager and leader. It's a duality. So you have to really combine both these things. You start basically understanding that you need to do kind of leading activities also. Those require a kind of emotional touch. Hope I have answered.
Yeah, Harish says, I got my answer, thanks. So I think we can proceed for the next subtopic.
um, uh, yeah, so the next topic is the power of emotional intelligence in the project management. So you know uh, this particular thing is really really interesting. I mean, once you understand this particular perspective, you will really gain a kind of advancement in your personality. Your life will also basically will give you a kind of the positive things, and you'll start managing, because uh, this is the way you represent yourself. And once you understand that, you will start acknowledging it. You will start accepting certain things, and then you start working on the transformation part of it. So we'll discuss again onto this. uh, EI is term used in a corporate world. As I said, the personality also I have covered in a detailed way how it is formed, and it basically represent your entire consciousnesses. Your consciousnesses in terms of your consciousness bodies, which are in the form of etheric, emotional, and intelligence. Etheric is purely for the energy system, so only we are going to talk, which is required for both emotional as well as intelligence. And based on this particular consciousnesses and your day-to-day activities, surroundings, you develop your all consciousness parameters. Those are basically a kind of chakra, meridians, kundalinis, and your brains. So this is how basically we form. And duality is used in terms of material life, because when you start looking at each and every parameter, you start looking at the each and every parameter has got various duality form. Let's say situation is hot and cold. Situation may be then you will prefer the hot because of your own duality. Let's say I'll give you the example where some kind of the medicine bottle is given to you in your hand. The one personality, you will see what are the ingredients of this, how it is made up of, what are the chemicals used into this. And The most importantly, some people will immediately say, what is the expiry date? Then the other person will see, hey, I'm having the problem, somebody has suggested me, I will go for it, I will not go for this, I'll go for the emotional attachment with someone, and I'll take a call. The third person will say, I like this bottle, I'll take it, forget, I mean, whatever is that, I will see afterwards. This is how the different personality, they react onto this. Some people will even try to see, hey, this particular thing is suggested by somebody, I will take it because I trust on that fellow, and he has suggested me this particular bottle, this particular medicine, so he will take it. So this is how basically, your duality is basically taking the decisions. And these decisions are taken by whom? You. This decision are taken by whom? Is your personality form from your past to present. This particular decision is taken because of your certain parameters has given a kind of priority to this particular thing, and that's how you are taken the decisions. So this is how the emotional intelligence, you basically take a decision based on your personality, based on your formation. Okay, so basically, as such, duality basically align with everywhere. It's basically required everywhere. Personality is required everywhere. But in a project management perspective, how we are basically, going to understand that, obviously I'll be covering in the next slide. But then, if you'll understand this, you'll basically will start, managing the projects in a different way. And at the same time, you will realize that your some other the portion is not basically developed. So it is obvious, it is nothing is right and wrong. So you will start focusing it in a different way. So this is how it is. The next one is, people are getting confused with the EI and IQ. That intellectual questions is basically, IQ is, for my own understanding and all that, IQ is representing your brain processing power. Emotional intelligence is responsible for your consciousness personality. This is very important, because brain processing power is basically developed by you only, because see, brain is a CPU, and we are developed, or we have created in such a way that whatever we use, whatever we focus, whatever we are basically using it, we transform on those. So your brain also transform, your physical body also, each and every organ transform. And then they go on. This is how the athlete, they every time they break their records. So your brain also start basically upgrading itself. It's in like a Pentium 2 processor to Pentium 3, Pentium 4, 5. And this is how the IQ. But IQ is not a personality. Personality exists somewhere, but brain, what happened is, this personality gives a parameters to the brain based on your own personality itself. That is the mindset, attitude, and belief system. So you get all those things as a input to the processor, and processor, it just takes these things and process it. So brain is not responsible for your decision making. Brain is responsible for the situation what you are putting in front of your brain, or passing on those information to the brain process it. Every logic is given by you, your personality, which is developed. Now, another term which is used as a yin yang. This yin yang is what, I mean, people are basically getting confused. Both the sides are there; they are moving on the opposite directions. I think you should be clear. Yin yang is a kind of a force, karma, you can say. You take the action, and this action basically goes with the reactions. So action produces two forces, two opposite forces. Remember this. Every of you do whatever action, even though you do the good things, their bad side will basically take it as a bad thing from their perspective. So there exactly the force is developed. opposite force is developed. So whenever you are taking a decision, you remember, you do not create opposite force, by your decision making. So you realize some people are basically not taking a decision because they they do not want to create a kind of yin yang. Sometimes, you realize that the decisions are prolonged, decisions are not taken. So decision taken is also kind of one activity where people give a priority, but decision not taking is also kind of thing, because people are try to understand that by taking a decision there are yin and yang are created. So you take a decision only with the one type of force, which is the positive force, will be created. So yin and yang is basically kind of opposite forces. If you'll do kind of good things will be generated. But remember that good things may be required for one kind of community, one kind of portion. The other side of portion is a problem. So that particular yang, the opposite side is developed, and that is how the karma is developed. That is how the things are basically in front of you. Okay, so the EI is again, I mean, for just this particular slide explanation. The EI is basically a kind of capability of the person, right? I mean, it is basically a represent of the personality. And this is how, going to fit into a kind of project management that you need to really, start thinking on it actually. When my project, my this particular presentation over, you will start thinking from all angle now. This is also, you'll try to see the other angle. That is also, you'll start doing it actually. you know the 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 core component, like understanding the self, EI is also important. I mean, you start looking at you know how you have made up of it. Are you a kind of emotional basis decision maker, or you are kind of logical basis decision maker, or the kind of mental basis decision maker? Then where you give the priority for the decisions. For example, when I see, the particular situations where this situation is in a kind of the principle, the other situation has got emotions. I will give you kind of one, the excellent example of the duality. You are on the railway track, and one track, one track, and there is adjacent track which is a yard. Seven people are going to the yard. You have a control, and you have control, and by which you can slide. So you can allow train to pass from this track as well as this track. Imagine the situation, what decision you will take. This is a perfect example of emotional intelligence. Because if one side you will see the person, the two people, the two childrens, they are very clear, train will not come. Principally, it is very, very clear that they can play here and there won't be a problem. This is for the example purpose I'm giving it to you. Otherwise, playing on the track is not these things. But let's say this eight people, they know that the train will come, but still they are playing. So you are going to take a decision based on this, right? So your intelligence, emotional factor, intelligence factor, both will come. The CEO will require to do a kind of cutting on your travel expenses. You see the duality portion. He has got a two option: fire the employees or you cut down your expenses and do the things. Both the decisions are there. So, people take a decision based on so many parameters and then their own EI develop. And company is basically paying you for your EI. They are hiring you for your emotional intelligence, your personality, and this is how you basically use your EI and work on the project management and your day-to-day activity. So the core component I'll already discuss with you, like chakra, kundalini, meridians, and consciousness bodies. So this particular core component exists in our Ayurveda as a kind of separate. Allopathy is there, Ayurveda is there, and there are various kind of things are there. This particular thing exists. This particular thing exists in our ancient texts also, in Bhagavad Gita, in all our the old text granthas. They have very clearly mentioned this. Then the thing which is basically the big questions to all of you is coming: why I can't see? Why I can't see? And that is the the major the question will come onto the intelligence side. Emotional side, they believe yes, something is happening, they believe. So this is how. But from a kind of meditative perspective, I have written a book also. I have clarified this. Whoever has created us, he has created in a consciousness format, and we represent into this material world. So this consciousness format, there is nothing in this material world can interface. They can see this. They cannot basically these things, but only human being can do this. Again, I'm repeating. Human being can, with some kind of advancement, when I'm talking about the balancing, when some kind of meditation practices, advanced meditation practices, they start experiencing this. They experience the chakra, they experience the kundalini power, they experience the meridians, they flow, and then they, experience their personalities in a different way. Feeling, they start feeling it. They get some kind of the advanced information, some kind of logical things. At that time, what happen is they they basically start looking onto this, accepting those things, and then the next advanced stage of meditation is basically you start advancing on those by managing those particular components. And there exactly this particular thing exists. So this is a kind of things where the written into our old text, as well as I have also published into my book. So this is how you are going to manage your all those things. And now accepting, I mean, all these particular things goes into a three kind of stages. The first stage is identified. You have to identify yourself that this is what is the issue, right? Issue is there. There are, I think, organizations, so many organizations, they give a kind of guidance where they call some 100 200 people, and then they start asking the people to share their knowledge of the experiences. They probe into some specific directions, and then they basically ask people to share their experiences. And what happened is, the moment you listen to their experience, issues, experiences, and all that, you start correlating it. So there exactly you start identifying it. The second most important part is you accept for every of your things you are responsible, because your personality has taken a decision. Personality has taken a decision to step back, personality has taken decision to go aggressively. So all these things basically because of you, and you have to accept that that you are basically not a kind of guinea pig of something. If something is happening with you, you have to react, but you will stay calm, stay a kind of disconnected, then the thing is, it is going to affect you. So this is how you have to accept, and then you start moving on to the transformation. So this transformation, very few people are basically doing, and my company is basically doing this kind of the complete transformation mechanism. I help people to understand their EI, their personality, and then I work out with them a kind of complete transformation program with them. So it is very, very important actually that you understand yourself, you know, and the understanding first, and then understand the other side also. You put yourself into the other shoes. That is very important. Why is saying so? You know, so evaluating opposite view is also important. And in the project management, this is very, very important that you go into the kind of your personality, you take a decision and you go into the personal fight with the the opposite side, either customer or the team. So don't become a kind of the personalized kind of victim. So very important to address this kind of thing is a review. And if you'll see, review mechanism will help you in terms of completely recording your discussion steps and everything whatever happened, and minutes of meetings will definitely record those. And what is other important is the PMO, where somebody is following the controlling the entire thing and basically capturing this. This is where exactly you will basically uh, you will perform in this project management, because project management is working on a kind of framework and a kind of intelligence planning, and then risk management, everything is involved. And then in that one, if you are not doing a kind of proper review mechanism, proper minutes of meeting mechanism, recording all those things, and the not monitoring it, you are going to face a kind of challenges. And there exactly you need to see why it is happening, because discipline is required on you. Discipline is required on you, and this is one of the quality of the intelligence. People you will find in your project or the emotional and all that, they are not disciplined, whatever is there, like a carried out talks and all that. No, as a project manager, you have to really see from the framework perspective, and very clearly review these things is involve the stakeholders. This is again the mistakes of the project manager or the people they are doing it. They think, because see, ultimately it's a personality. They are insecure. They think that, okay, I will do this, I'll get a credit. I will hide my problems, I will get a credit. But here the problem is, remember, the the stakeholders are also in a kind of different personality. Their expectations are there. If you will not involve them, even your bosses, higher bosses, or the customer, then you will not know whatever is there. You start taking a decision based on your own personality, and then there exactly you will face a problem. Involving stakeholders is very, very important as a kind of hierarchical thing, escalation matrix. And if something is happening, okay, you handle all those situation at your place, but then you involve your senior people. So in a bigger project manage the organizations, all these things are review, PMOs are obviously getting implemented. And the required stakeholders, they have to come into the picture. And that if they are not coming in, then it is a challenge for the program manager, because sometimes the accounts are also kind of burning account, situation account. No one wants to burn their hands, but you have to get the stakeholders. Even though he is not ready to come, you have to make sure that some other way he is basically being informed, he is making coming onto this platform. So this is how basically you can handle the EI versus EI, because what happens is you have a EI, other party is also having the EI. What happened is you are on the E side and he is on the I side. Both are different. So use EI, you know, and use your EI, other person's EI. Understand those things and use the mechanism by which you can bridge the gap. Now, in this one, very important thing is your own EI can be bridge a gap with the mind, because mind understand both the things. And your, the other person is on the other side of EI, okay? And you are on the one side. If there is no mind, if there is no mechanism to bridge, then you are going to create a problem. So what happened is, that's why I'm saying review mechanism is important. That's why I have said the involving the stakeholders important, because whatever is the situation, they understand the project has to be run, and projects require some kind of attention, and then they come out with the kind of the parameters which will help you, or which will they will help you in the situations, because everyone has got a EI. That EI has a visibility, the CEO has a different visibility, the business person has a different visibility, the project manager has got a different visibility, your the person who is on the risk management, he has got a different visibility. So all these things has to be bring together on a one kind of discussion platform, record it, involve the stakeholders, and go ahead. Yeah, now I think this second one, finish. I have taken longer time onto this. Any question and answer on this?
Yes, Sunil sir, there is one question from Lakshmi Shankar. She has some, I think, a case study. It's like, when I put myself into customer shoes and empathize, they assume I will take care of the issue, even if it is scope change or scope creep. So if I tell them it's change in scope, they are surprised and escalate. So often I have to take a very guarded approach of not displaying the empathy. Then customer thinks we don't understand their pain points.
Exactly. They're exactly the review mechanism. You have a proper alignment, proper minutes of meeting, and proper understanding. Get them onto the discussion platform. They will. That is what is the opposite side of personality. Remember this. The opposite personality does not believe on the the kind of discussion, and they will say, okay, okay, you go ahead. But under kind of situations, they will try to corner you, because they will not understand your things, or their situation on their company side may be different, their boss is telling something. So only solution on this one is a review, periodic alignment with the client, and periodic alignment with your team on their solutions, records they what they want, what they don't want. If they are coming out with the scope change and all that, you go back to your minutes of meeting, you go back to your scope defined. So when we are talking about the projects, we are talking about the two different things. One is basically the transition. I mean, I'm talking about the service delivery from the IT perspective. We're talking about the transitions, where in the transition mechanism, we capture the baseline parameters, your expectations, what is the present situations, and what you want. Those things are really important, because when you are aligning for any project, any kind of a kind of a kind of activity, you have to understand what is the present situation, and what is the customer wanted, and whether you can deliver it or not, or what exactly to be done. If it is not being delivered, there are challenges are there. You don't take it personally, you involve your stakeholder, you involve your team, and you go ahead. That is what is expected from the project manager. Project manager is not expected to be a kind of technical person. Remember this, technical people will try to hide, technical people will try to hide the escalations. No, You getting into the kind of review mechanism and escalation mechanism, and then you try to fix the situations. If you'll have a clear review, clear minutes of meeting, escalations will not basically create any kind of issue, because you have a very clear cut, your minutes of meeting saying that yes, this is what you have agreed. Now if you are talking about something new, we'll work towards it based on my agreement with you. Means that project agreement. If requires additional money, let stakeholder finance it, take stakeholder or approve it. It's simple as that. Hope I have answered.
Okay, so next question is from Lakshmi says yes, thank you. Next question is from Arun Ramakrishnan. He is telling, after signing contract, if we found there is some scope need to be changed and the client is stubborn will with not to change anything as this contract was signed. In that situation, how can we deal with the client?
See, that's why I said, the contracts are signed with the proper kind of alignment from both the sides, your side as well as customer side. And there is a team basically. If you are talking about the big projects, obviously they go with each and every scope. What is defined in the scope 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? The agreement are there. So if that one is basically there, then you have to do it. You have to really, that's why the people who are basically offering a kind of the deal, or they are making the deal, those teams are typically a salespeople, and then they have their own agenda to get the contract. And there are a lot of ifs and buts are there. I mean, I have seen in my these things, the contract are signed in a blank paper, in the terms like, it's a very clear cut understanding, I will quit if I don't have any these things, then the same thing is given to them. So it's a mutual understanding. Now mutual understanding is basically happening with your senior people also. So if they are basically changing the scope, and they are not ready, you have to take it with your internal team whether they are approving it or not. Otherwise, you are not a person who is going to approve, correct? Your business person supposed to approve. There is a money required, there is a sanction required for the additional scope. So either your business people should take a decision, whoever is your, the sponsor. The sponsor has got a very clear understanding in terms of both the EIs. I know this particular agreement is responsible for this point, but at the same time, there is other part of EI is I may lose the customer. So let the stakeholder take a decision. That is very important. And if additional thing is required, let the company approve it. It's simple as that. Am I clear?
Yes, yes, sir. Actually, seeing the questions of Lakshmi and Arun, even I face these kind of issues. Sometimes when we see that we are client-facing teams, and then we sometimes we take the decision on the behalf of project manager or the internal, because we are multinational. We maintain global projects, and I'm a project manager for some projects and project coordinator for some projects. So sometimes it comes questions to you that why you are doing so much, you are just a resource to our projects. And so these things are really matters, and you get hurt because you are also that project is also your baby also. You are trying your best to improve, give proper good services to the client. So I agree with Lakshmi and Arun that empathy, showing empathy so much is really sometimes is questioned to you. So that is what is our emotional intelligence. So I think I think we can move on to the next topic.
Yeah. See, here I'm basically talking about the EI balancing. As now, so far you must have understood the duality and how the duality present in us, and how we have developed our consciousnesses, faculties, because of our past to present experience, and because of our uh, you know uh, uh, strength and weaknesses. And then we exist in a consciousness world and we represent ourselves into the physical world. So here basically, I mean, with my particular kind of path on this last 15 years, specifically onto the this things, I have developed a kind of, a kind of very clear mechanism to capture your, personality in terms of their consciousness development, their, meridians, chakra development, their emotional and intelligence development, and how much you're using the left brain, right brain, and basically come out with the kind of the specific mechanism of uh, you know uh, kind of transformation. The mechanism may be a kind of workaround mechanism, because transformation is not easy. You have to really remove your those kind of belief systems and the mindset to do that. Sometimes it is not possible because life after life people are not doing it. So there exactly basically I help the people, and it is basically the a kind of the path where you can elevate yourself. Now we are going to touch the topic on the optimal role alignment and strategic talent development actually.
Sunil sir, there is one more question if you want to answer.
Yeah, yeah.
It is from Garishma Gupta. She is asking, when the client is very demanding and due to high demands and expectations, employees need to work overtime or late night. So, how will a project manager handle this situation?
Yeah, the project management goes with the kind of burnout situation, and if you are under the impression that you are only having the problems, everywhere the problem is there. Means depending on there are the high rewards also there, depending on the situations you are getting involved into that particular kind of situations. So the lifestyle management, which is the topic number 5, will definitely answer your questions, because uh, you know overloading, overburning, all these situations exist everywhere. The moment you go onto the ladder, top ladders, their challenges are different, and you should gear up for the challenges. There is no empathy this thing, because your job role demand, your EI is demanded, your work is demanded by your organization. If you are under the impression by having the a kind of 10 people doing the job, the thing will not happen, because the project, this business person whoever has signed the contract, understand from his perspective, he got a contract because of this particular squeezing. He tried to squeeze, customer also squeeze, and that's how you are basically getting paid off, you know. So the people who are looking from that side, yes, it is a tough, so that's why you are being called. So you have to manage yourself, you have to manage your lifestyle, you have to be happy, and you have to make yourself how you can be enjoy the situation, how you can balance the situation. We'll cover up this particular thing of Karishma Gupta in lifestyle management. Is it okay with you, Karishma?
Okay, Karishma. I think we will yet to come those topics, and even I will um, uh, resonate with the saying that project managers also always change storms. So that is how the work profile of a manager is. So, Sunil sir, I think we can move forward.
See, this is the role alignment, and the strategic talent deployment, the sessions where we'll try to see the importance of the aligning individual personality blueprints and their EI strength with the specific role within the projects and the program management. Like, for example, we have a skill matrix. This person has got experience, very vast experience, educations, and all that. But what is important is he represent by his personality, his own issues, his own kind of behavioral things. So all those things are basically important, and at the same time, the the placement of this particular person, you know, is important, because the opposite side is also demanding that way. So will that particular person will take that particular the heat, because it's obviously in a kind of situations where we are demanding a kind of you know uh, a kind of best fit, means because of our experiences and all that we try to see uh, you know uh, his EI is good, he can handle those situations in very effective way. And I mean, I would like to give one very the strange example, because see, you are doing a kind of project management in every aspect. Traveling from here to there, you are doing a project management. You are basically planning for outside. You are doing a project management. You can adopt project management way, or you can adapt your own way. You know, so. Uh, the example is basically in my Wipro this things where they called one senior executive program where they said, okay, I mean we were somewhere around 15-20 people, and then they said, the I mean whosoever is basically really doing a planning, you know they want to go to travel to outside, and they plan, they will, I will go on this time, that is what is the uh, you know I will go by car, train, then I'll do the train booking, I'll do the the hotel booking, I'll do all those things. So everything is planned perfectly. Steps are written. So these are the one type of people. Who are those people? Identify. And the other type of people, they said, okay, we'll plan. Is tomorrow we are going? Why to plan now? We'll plan it tomorrow. So they will say, till they go out of the their door, they will say, okay, I'll keep on thinking, because right now I can't plan, I'll go out and I'll see. Then they will say, I'll go to that place and I will see whether the train is available or taxi is available, or the flight is available. Or they will say that the hotel, why to do, will go and will search on the the things. The other person is basically searching in one day prior to that, I will go to this hotel. So these are the people who should come out and identify and go. So obviously they formed the two group. 10 people came on this side, 10 people on that side. Then they gave a kind of task. They said, you discuss in a team for half an hour and come out with the 5 points. We'll give you the situation. The situation given to us was the people under you, the one person, he's not performing. You come out with the 5 points, discuss within your group and prioritize all those things and come out with the best fit 5 points. I mean, half an hour people were fighting and all that, and then they came out with the 5 point. The 5 point from one group, 5 point from another group. You know what happened is, these 5 points and these 5 points never match, because the people who are taking a decision, you know, they are having the kind of assessing this particular 5 points is different, and people who are on the other side having the assessing capability is different. So they focus on their this 5 point, they focus on these 5 points, never match. So this is just one of the example actually. So it's really required, you'll have to really see the situation where exactly you can best fit, you know where perfectly you can align the role. For example, PMO role requires a kind of discipline, the minutes of meeting, following up with the people, recording it, completing a kind of matrix, and all those kind of things. Even the same thing with the project manager also, he should look into a kind of various aspects, how project is going, creating a kind of dashboards, reporting mechanism and all those things, coming to the this thing. So this require a different kind of personality. So PMO requires a pure kind of the shifting onto the intelligence side, discipline side, uh, where he requires to the control, coordinate, and all those things. And the project manager requires a kind of both the sides. I mean, the customer side as well as internal as well as external. He also connects with the internal stakeholders, external stakeholders, and all that things. Program management I'm talking about. So what happened is the misalignment basically. You are having the emotional kind of personality, and you are being demanded discipline. You are being demanded a kind of planning. You get a cramp when someone tells you you do the planning. I mean, there exactly is a burnout, the stress. You are we are good on the technical side, but when you are in the discussion, you are not a kind of person who can understand other person. You, because you focus on the technical side. This is my right. This is my way. This is not your distance. So that's where basically the misalignment happens. The misalignment happens to you, the team, organizations, and then the entire the project management and the entire project, losing the clients. So all those things are basically a kind of misalignment or a kind of misjudged. The here I see the signing of the contract where things are not mentioned, but this happens everywhere. I mean, I remember the during the recession 2007, there one whole account got a problem because of something signed blindly, something signed blindly, and I forgot the name of that. I don't want to give the name, and because of that particular signing, there was a clause. I mean, the clause was there, so obviously we have to pay. So the total misalignment with the person who was there, who has signed, who has not envisaged that particular kind of situation. I remember in one of the bank where I was doing the kind of audit, I realized that there was a blank agreement for the the switching over from the live situation while doing a backup, restore, and all that things. The 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 penalty clause was very high. When it was shown to the CFO ran away. I mean, he said, "What is this happening?" He immediately gathered all the kind of meetings and all that. So this is where the cost of misalignment. People will not spare you if you are misaligned. You are getting the stress because you cannot handle the situation. Now you have to have a kind of situations where you can manage yourself. Otherwise, only two things happen: flight or fight. That is the body language. This is what your body understand. Body understand the stress. If you are basically working on, let's say, a kind of overload and all that, your body has got a mechanism to produce some kind of chemicals within your body, and those bodies are basically are basically injected into your blood or body, because your body is supposed to take that sudden changes. For example, if somebody is walking and literally from even the prank also you shout, his body reacts because of some kind of noise, and then it injects a kind of changes. But those changes are given for the temporary situation, and if you are basically prolonging this particular situation with the stress, overload, these are going to impact in your body. These are going to impact in your body because your organs are having the tolerance to understand. They have a tolerance to cope up with the situations. Beyond that, they will not. So misalignment creates all these issues. I mean, and misfit is creates all these issues. So you need to have a balancing team. That is what is my point actually. So you have to really see how they can balance. And really important thing is how to balance them. For example, in offshore and onshore kind of situations where most of the organizations, they bring the team together, in some platform where you stay, understand each other, and then try to see whether because that particular thing gives a lot of the comfort feeling between the people, and this is how basically the things are addressed. So again, I mean, here the matching blueprint of the role. So obviously you need to identify the people for specific role, how it is basically. So, like, let's say the common roles in most of the organizations, like the bigger all organizations, if they are doing a multiple kind of role, they have a kind of horizontal structures. Let's say quality lead, the quality department is separate. They will give you kind of one trained person specifically on the QA, and then he will help you on the sharing basis. Depending on the project importance, they can even uh, you know give that entire person to you specifically for your project. Let's say same thing with your the risk manager. It is again the kind of thing. But then this is for the the bigger kind of projects. Smaller projects, project manager has to really come out with the kind of roles, and finalize their role. He needs to understand the personality blueprint of everyone, what is required for this role. So typically in a kind of project management, the 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 contract is basically very clearly given, handed over to the kind of delivery team, and delivery team then basically come out with the kind of project manager role, and then he basically build up his organization. And there is obviously a kind of organizations where they help in building the kind of proper people. But ultimately the project manager has to really see that, I mean, how he's good with the other people. That is also there. His leadership load is also there, and his own EI is also important, because he knows that person is basically which he is going to take a quality is having a lot of issues, so he will try to avoid that person. And then maybe he has an option to take that person and behave with him in a very nice way, or take the kind of new person. So all those fights are going on. It's just because of the personality, where they try to basically see this personality is basically suitable to them. So you know um, the personality is like, the analytical personality. Let me just talk about the blueprint of the some of the personality. uh, Analytical is basically purely work on the database, past to present. He works on this happened on this, and he project the future onto the past to present database. So analytical person develops lot of intelligence. He's all those faculties which I have talk about, like meridians, then our entire left side and right side. Remember, even our spine, there are the spinal cord has got a kind of very clearly, if you'll see T1 left side, T1 right side, lumbar muscles, those muscles are also left side, right side, clearly defined. For example, um, he uses a frequent left side. His left side muscles are very distinct, but then the right side is not utilized. So he will start facing the problem onto some other way, onto his, the on his organs, his spine, his those organs are, because your personality has transfer all those issues from your distance to your physical body, and physical body has got a tolerance level, it start affecting you. There exactly you need to really say, you know so uh, some people basically, I mean, like a leader is a completely emotional driven. He lead the things with the emotions. He will never ever you know look for the discipline and checklist and all that. No, is out of the box. He's not a manager, which is the opposite side. The manager is basically a project manager. So both the personalities, there. The manager's strength is discipline, coordinate, go up to the framework, define this, define every parameter, go to the stakeholders, align with them, go to the client. So all those things require a kind of the very clear cut discipline, intelligence, like a military. Why they are basically given all those kind of mechanism is because they expect discipline. Discipline is very clear in the military. The leaders are different. Leaders, they work on their own these things. They will come out with their own ideas. Those are from the start to finish, not from the past, the present to finish. So what I'm saying is you can assess the people basically by giving a kind of, you can define your project roles and responsibility and what you want, and the frameworks required, what kind of personality, and then basically you can work on those. You ask that person to fill up his central things and all that. So it is a duality. So obviously he has to, at the same time, his situation also, his basically personality also, you can map from the uh, from the senior person, that how is this and all that. So this is the way you can identify and match your blueprint. You need to understand the EI required for each and every role. Then only you can basically these things. Otherwise you may work on the central team, the HR person, or the horizontals, which are basically giving the resources, or you can define your own things. Here again, I'm basically saying I capture the personality blueprint. I have developed a kind of mechanism. I have developed kind of uh, assessment test where I capture the personalities development in terms of their EI, their the consciousness chakras and all that, and their meridians. And basically I give a solution based on the present situations, what they require. See, it is it simple thing is, he may require things which is kind of unique to him. He has stuck because of this particular kind of experience he has, or he has particularly developed his the belief systems. So we'll have to work on those. And this is where exactly I help the people. And I even the help the kind of creating a team also. And my company is basically taking up this particular. Now, any questions on this? Actually, we are running out of time, I think.
Hello, attendees. Do you want to ask any questions on the topic? Otherwise, we will move ahead. We can wait for 1 minute for the attendees to post the questions, and then if not, we can move ahead. Sunil sir, you can take your time, no problem. We can extend 10 minutes because there were some glitches in between, so not a problem. So people, you can post your questions if you want to ask. Otherwise, if there are no questions, we can. I think Sunil sir, we can start now. We can
Okay.
move on.
Okay, here basically we are talking about the navigating the complex project dynamics actually, where uh, the project management has to really see the practical tools and the how to effectively navigate the human dynamics, matching those things to the to his project actually. The understanding of individual blueprint, and the emotional intelligence basically he has developed. So I've seen organizations, they have their own kind of the assessment of each and every person in terms of personality also. So they call it as a kind of their own disc, or their own kind of things, where they they capture this person's behavioral pattern, his success, failures, and his way of doing this. So what I'm basing is basically saying is, the project manager has to really see the project dynamics, what is in and what he requires. So he takes his own time, and there are people you'll find, I mean, let's say perfectionists, procrastinators, or the peacemakers and all that. Those personalities are there actually. And start looking into those kind of the personalities, how they react actually. Even from the customer side also, he is very emotional. So understand his personality, understand the boss, how he basically reacts to the situations. So the alignment with all those people are really, really required. For example, perfectionist, he's always take a retake, you know and he will try to see even small things should not be a mistake. But then other side person say, okay, yeah, I mean, this is the life. So I just cannot be doing a kind of the kind of involvement myself to a kind of till I'm happy. So he's not happy because of this. So this is how the perfectionist, even the procrastination, they are basically lazy in most of the things. They try to delay the things because of their own kind of personality. Peacemaker is also another kind of personality, where he has a kind of empathy. He try to engage with the people. He try to see the other point of view. So use this kind of personality whenever there is escalations and all that. So what is another important in the project management is basically we always see, you know the silos kind of things, like us versus them. So you treat customer as them, or you treat other horizontals as them. It's, or my way, your way, all those things are basically creating a frictions. I mean, we cannot run a situations where the the customer wants something and you are delivering something, or you are delivering because of your business people are not giving. So all those kind of things are there. I mean, there was an excellent diagram where the different stages of projects were shown, like what customer want and what you have delivered, what you are making it, what sanction you got, and what basically finally delivered. It is the same thing happens in this project management. So so avoid a kind of friction, and there exactly the things can be avoided with the kind of review mechanism and the minutes of meeting, PMO, and involving the stakeholders. So you need to really, now you have understood that emotional intelligence, you need to have a balance. Emotional does not understand intelligence, intelligence does not understand emotions. And when the two people, you know they are in the face to face, one is on the other side, one is on the opposite side, it is a dichotomy, right? There is nothing wrong, right and wrong, but situation is you are on the opposite side. So you need to have strategies for those actually. And they're exactly, where the project manager, the advancement project management's maturity comes into picture. So he has to really anticipate, what will happen. So based on the if you'll become a master in the understanding the personality, duality personality, then you'll basically gain on this. You will basically, uh, you you will understand the response. You will basically come out with a kind of mechanism, if you plan A, plan B, plan C kind of things actually. Okay. So this is where exactly the you need to really work on. And uh, definitely, I mean, project manager is capable of doing all these things, anticipations and all that. The common triggers are always there. Scope of change, the contract was signed, something is added up, there are basically, unclear scope, or there is a kind of feedback given, some person is having this, some person is having that, and last minute changes. These are all basically kind of trigger where people goes into the panic state. So you have to really work on this kind of triggers, that if this particular action is taken, then this trigger will be pressed. So understand those things. Understand your customer, understand your bosses. These are the triggers that they have. The the most important is a conflict resolution. As I said, emotional and intelligence, two different institutions. You require a mind to change. But here the two institutions are on the opposite side, customer and you. So you need a mechanism of mind in between where the person can basically really work from your side as well as this side and understand both the parameters. Okay. So that's why you need to really work on the stakeholder alignment, stakeholder management, and so that you can have kind of rapport. You try to meet in a kind of separate situation, and you can avoid all these conflicts. Uh, Let me work on. I'll take the questions after topic 5, because we are running late actually. And the lifestyle management, which is very very important for all of you actually, and it is basically a kind of work life balance. What I'm talking about, it is balancing your EI, balancing your personality, and uh, how the duality within yourself is basically need to be balanced, because you are one side, you are doing a very hard work, you are reaching to the kind of conclusion, project management, if you are an investigating officer, you are basically very close to the breakthrough, you are very distinct and you completely focus. But what happened is your other weak side, the other side which is weak, you are going to face a problem. You are working hard, you are doing everything, you are going to create a problem on your body. So you need to have working mechanism, a very clear cut mechanism to handle the stress, you handle this thing. This is where the lifestyle balance is important. Without that you won't survive, because I have seen even the let's say why people are getting the heart attack. They are unable to handle the kind of the situation. Their heart goes into the kind of things. The emotions creates the problems. Their emotions goes in such a way that your organ, it has come to your organ level. Understand, burnout goes on to your organ level. There exactly you need to have alarming, and there need to understand, you need to have balance. If you keep on doing these activities only, then other activity is going to get some. This is where the yin yang is basically there. You are one side good, other side is affected. So you have a stress because of your involved into this activity, but then you need kind of mental resilience. I mean, the silence has to be there, the kind of things are there. So there exactly you need to really focus. you know you need to acknowledge the stressor point. If somebody is working on deadline, stakeholders management, conflict, constant changes, shifting between the projects and all that, you need to balance your life, you need to balance your work life, you need to really work on the lifestyle management. Because if you are on one side, your other side reflect onto your weak side, reflect onto your organs, reflect onto your behavior response. Because if you are under a stress, you bring that stress into your home. If you're having the hiring and firing on your one side, you bring that things onto the other decision making. So this is what is where the energy is trapped. This is where the energy is trapped in your personality, which cannot explode at that particular situation. It goes into your house and explode onto your children. There exactly you need to really, see. I mean, these are the sign of burnout. There exactly you need to balance yourself, and there exactly work-life balance and lifestyle management comes into the picture. See, here balancing EI or balancing personality is a proactive choice. It's not a reactive crisis management. You should not work on this. You don't take it like I will balance myself only when I will have a kind of issues. No, you very clearly define. Now you are a project manager. You define your specific time. Here I will do workout. Here I will do this. Here I will do this. Here I will do this. If I am under the stress, coming out of the stress is another mechanism which I'll again discuss. That exactly has to be worked out. So your body cannot take those chemicals which are given to you. Let's say for the stress, your chemicals are coming into the body and damaging your organs. And if you are not coming out of that, ultimately you're going to have a kind of situations where your organ fail. Your something is going to start showing you a kind of a kind of effect. So you have to really work on the proactive things. Actually, before everything happens, you start you know coming out with a lifestyle management and work life balances. So here actually I have a kind of the a kind of advice where the ancient wisdom, you know what we are talking about is a kind of four bodies. You guys are basically knowing as of now is only a physical body. Physical body requires a kind of strength to walk and all those things, your organs to move. Etheric body requires a kind of the energy which is required for your consciousnesses. And emotional body requires to handle your emotional things. And the mental body, which is basically required for your intelligence. I mean, I have written a book, Soul Journey of Human Being, and I have given a kind of, because people are not knowing meditation is the only parameter or some kind of parameters required, some kind of this thing required. Hey, he is doing this kind of meditation, I will also do. Understand the meditation. Meditation is not going to give you kind of things unless until you do that specific meditations required for your specific situations. I have defined the four stages of human being, and in this four stage, one, two, three, four, this this kind of stage number one, which is purely aligned in the material life. The stage number of the second stage is where you also align in the material life, but you basically advances on your faculties. The third one is a completely spiritual things, and the fourth one is very the advanced stages. So I have defined what are the meditations, what are the exercises, because see, meditation is a vast term. People are not understanding meditation means what. Meditations means just focus. So what I'm saying is, when you are at the, let's say, the purely aligned with the material life, you do the exercise which is required for your surroundings, your projects, your surroundings, your people management. Then you need to really work on those particular things and develop yourself. But instead of that, you will develop something which is high profile kind of meditation practices, because you have to go to the step 2 and step 3, step 4. If you are doing a step 3 kind of meditation practices which are enabling your consciousnesses on energy centers and all that, and if you are not purified for that handling particular things, you're going to face a crisis situation within yourself. So let's say the first the stage where you really need to understand how to do a meditation, how to do a manifestation to success your material life, success your projects. Meditate on your project, meditate on the kind of activity which you are planning. Give 100% on that. I help you on that, actually, because you need to really do that. You need to really work on, if you are under the stress, you need to work on diverting the mechanism. Means take a break, do something good. Whatever your hobbies, you like to cook, you go to the cook. Whatever is happening in your mind, which is basically constantly evaluated by your brain, you divert that by some activity. Listen to the music, listen to, if you like it, go to the play. You work on the exercises, adopt some kind of good play, and you burn out those chemicals, because those chemical stress related things, all those kind of things are basically accumulated in your body. You work out, you do exercise, those things will go with your burning your fats, burning your kind of things, and it will help you. So there exactly you need to do kind of the physical kind of things, and a kind of diet. People are, I mean, I have seen people have not understood the diet properly. They eat like anything, they do anything, but then if you have a proper diet mechanism, you'll handle your physical body properly. Then the etheric body is a consciousness bodies, where I'm talking about the yoga, and there are certain meditations. The like very simple exercises, Kapal Bhati, where you do the Kapal Bhati, where it basically pull your alchemize upward. Ananam Vilam, there is another exercise where do the alternate nostril. Alternate nostril is very important in terms of balancing you. You take a kind of breathing from one nostril and release it on other nostril. Take the breathing from this nostril, hold it, and release on the first nostril. What you are doing is you are trying to mixing up your uh, hot and cold and energies and all that. So there exactly you are trying to balance. In my the complete guidance, in the one-on-one kind of things, I give lot of such kind of mechanisms where it will address your issues. Emotional things, emotional body exercises are different, where the meditations and emotional and mental body requires a different kind of meditations. Simple emotional exercise is basically focus on your heart chakra, heart center of chest. The 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 another exercise is a simple breathing exercise. Emotional can be happy with, if you do a kind of very good emotional activities, align with the, go with the pet, try to adopt. I'm not giving a solution, but then, even though if you'll go, you like it, then you share your emotions, share your emotions. You try to see your emotions are basically addressed. Mental body requires a kind of different kind of meditations, which is really required for the head side kind of meditations. And all this requires very advanced. When you go to advanced and advanced, you go to the breathing, you go to the kind of the awakening of everything, which is may not be a kind of scope over here, but these are all requires a kind of the focusing mechanism. You become a master on focusing. Every second you focus on the right thing, focus on your where exactly you're facing the problem, you focus on that, you will get a solution. Okay, so this is where exactly I'm talking about various mechanism. uh, you have to really the actionable item for your things. When you are talking about the lifestyle management, now you have understood how this personality affects on other things, how your professional things affects on the others thing. So you need to balance. So now you work out a plan. See, actionable, you understand your own AI, you understand your own weaknesses also, you understand, maybe, for example, you are weak on the emotion side, you try to align and you are building up emotional side. Go to the some of the places where you align with the kind of NGOs and all that, your emotional things will grow. There are some what breathing practice you can do, then what meditation practice you can do for your things. Don't just go to the kind of places where they will give you a heavy kind of breathing practice and which is not required as per your EI developed so far, which is very important. If your EI is developed in terms of which cannot handle the breathing, and because breathing and everything is enabling your energies, enabling your chakras and all that. So that particular enablement you should able to take it. So you should purify. If you are not purified, you will have problems, because your consciousness purification is required. Your the personality purification is required. The energy is energy. You can use it for good purpose, bad purpose. So you have to be purified. So this is my just a small last slide where I'm basically talking about. I have a learning management systems where uh, you know I specifically work on the mind balancing, harmonizing your duality and these things. My all these things are come with a kind of two sessions with a understanding the personality blueprint and come out with a very clear cut his consciousness development parameters, and then you align with him and work out. Then this is what is the second one which I'm talking about, the assessment test. The lifestyle management is obviously for the you require at least you take it, some very small sessions are there. And with this lifestyle management, again, capture your personality, try to see what are the actionable items, work with me. I can give you a lot of meditation techniques, self-healing techniques. And I'm also a healer, so I give a healing also in a different way. So those healings are also will be utilized for you. There are the a kind of 12 weeks, means 1 hour per week program, which I'm talking about, giving a complete picture of how the consciousness are built up, how to what is a meditation, what exactly the deeper understanding. It's covered in a 12 hours, you can say, or the kind of 12 weeks, 1 hour per week. And this LMS platform gives you kind of all kind of connectivity and libraries and all that. Manifestation is really important. You need to understand how to manifest the things. And manifestation, if you take this program, you will really work on the manifestation. And it is not a kind of lottery. It is a kind of part you are creating from your the manifestation from present to future. So this is how it is actually. And the crisis management is given for the situations where under the crisis and all, and basically I help them in that. These are all my, this is my book available onto the Amazon, and this is what my all the things are. My sumiralife.com is basically where I have it is my corporate side where all the services there. But then ultimately, if you are registering for any services, it will come to the sumiralife.in. That is the learning management system platform. It's based on the Zenler, and it is basically top of the world kind of platforms. And uh, all kind of things you can do it over there. You can connect with me, I can answer you one on one, and all those things are there actually. I have been I have been communicating onto the YouTube with my channel Soul Awakening. It's in Hindi, English, and Marathi. Whatever I have been basically giving on this, everything I have basically given onto this channel also, and I publish at least 1 or 2 episodes per weekly basis. And you can see this youtube.com at Sumira Life, or this is basically a Soul Awakening channel where I have given the entire consciousness related all question and answers. It's a kind of podcast. My LinkedIn profile is there, and this is what is my Soul Awakening in the golden distance. So now, floor is open. You can basically tell me what it's Can we take the question and answers as the last activity on this?
Yes, sir. There are two questions from the same person, Jayant Rangari. First question is, how about multitasking? Is it called for in given today's context? How are macroeconomic factors playing a role on oneself today? How to overcome this?
Micro
How about multitasking? Is
multitasking,
it
I have
called for in
understood. You said second one.
okay? How are macroeconomic factors playing a role on oneself today?
Macro. Okay, I'll understand this because I have not understood its question. See, multitasking. When you're saying, remember, our body is designed as a single processor. We have two brains, but every time only one brain is active. We are doing a multitasking because our brain is in advanced stage. It is working on the Pentium 5. So what has happened is it process fast. But remember, when you're doing a multitasking, your focus has to be that way. So multitasking is good where your the IQ level is high. You can switch over from one to another, but then switching over again, you will be lingering onto the one side. The other activities basically emotional driven. Then you need to work on the different kind of scenario. Our body works only a single task, single focus. So try to see, give a justice for the focusing onto one activity. If not, park it there, focus onto the other activity. Give a specific time. Multitasking is very high profile term, which is that the people have not understood multitasking. Your body is designed for the single task, single focusing, single processor. The macroeconomics I have not understood. Can you just elaborate on this?
Okay. Meanwhile, we will just wait for from his side. The next question he has asked is climate change, heat wave, and unseasonal rains, mild or extreme winters are playing a invisible role that is impacting one's body and mental state.
Actually, I should have covered this. Remember, your consciousnesses are getting affected with the planetary positions, full moon, this, a kind of consciousness is surrounded to you. Those are all basically getting affected. Why we are saying, full moon basically um, enhances your alchemy. Honeymoon is called because of that. Actually, there is a reason for that. So full moon, your consciousnesses, let's say you work on other day with your energy level, which is, let's say, 1x. In full moon, it goes up to the 5x. It depending on your consciousness advancements. If somebody's advancement is high on a meditative practice, then it goes into the 100 way, 100 multiplication factor. So during this particular time, remember, your energy is elevated, or your you know energy is enhanced, and you have some kind of issues. This energy is enhances your issues. This energy enhances your good things, bad things also. So you focus on to the good thing during that time. The unusual things are basically dependent on the consciousnesses what they have created. For example, uh, the we are talking about internet. We are talking about, let's say, X kind of consciousness is developed by someone. We are talking about Facebook kind of consciousness is developed. We are talking about Instagram. These are the places where you hooked up to those, you subscribe to those consciousnesses. And what happened is, you evaluate those, you take those consciousnesses as your consciousnesses. Something is affecting you, external part, because you are basically hooking up, you're processing those things. You have to develop a kind of ability to stop those particular thing and work on to your focusing. It should not affect, but this planetary positions are going to affect your energy levels and going to affect your kind of personality level. You will, if you are having the kind of anger, ego, anxiety, all those things are basically taking the multiple the kind of multiplication factors on that. So you need to really work on those to method to ground yourself. It's not simple. Yeah, that macroeconomic, have you got
Yeah,
anything?
he has written macroeconomic effects. It's about the world events and its effect on companies and then ultimately on oneself, employees, or workers.
Yeah, those things are going to affect, na? Because recession or even now war is going on, it affects everywhere. You go to the stock market, it's going to affect. So you should be ready with a plan. Project manager should have kind of mechanism to take a kind of this kind of risk. You cannot put all your eggs into one basket. You, when you are, let's say, in the stock market, you have to really work on certain mechanisms where in this situation comes, this has to be there. You'll go into the problem. Because if, let's say, the war is there and you are basically do not have a kind of plan to the sell out the stock, you do not have kind of understanding on those particular things, you'll be as a problem. People are surviving all this situation, there is nothing wrong. I mean, only thing is those problems you are creating it. So you have a proper plan on that. You should have proper kind of mechanism, type B plan, C plan, D plan. Any, hope I have answered this.
Okay, there is one more question, two more questions. One is first one is Ishan Thakkar. He is asking what kind of mindset should one set during startup of the company, and you are not getting projects due to Trump policies.
Yeah, what you're talking about is an entrepreneur actually, so when I said balancing the, let's say, the people who are having the emotional side is more okay, and he, suppose he is an entrepreneur, he will have problems. Entrepreneur required, like a project manager required a kind of the shifting onto the intelligent side. The entrepreneur requires shifting onto the emotional side, because that's how the system is. The the channel which is basically requires from present to future, he should have to have opportunity kind of mind, he should have to accept the challenges, and he should ready to start from the zero. Intelligent person will not start from the zero. He will say, hey, my past is there like this, so my present, how I can start? There is a difference. I'm saying the difference between the Mukesh Ambani and Anil Ambani. Both are having the different kind of mechanism. This is how it is. One person believes on the takeover, another person starting from the scratch. There exactly is an entrepreneur, the role where when you're starting up something, you need to develop a kind of the manifestation practice, the 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 complete patching up from your present to future manifestation. What are the steps required? That is what is basically the emotional intelligence. What was the second question?
Yeah, second is this is from Leon Gomes. He's asking, my senior does not give me proper feedback and expects me to know what they want. I'm new to the organization. How do I manage? She is very rude and I get demeaned with her words. How do I overcome this?
So this is what is the EI of your boss, EI of you, isn't it? the personality of your boss and personality of you and the EI of your work, what you're doing it actually. There is a complete imbalance. You need to work on what she wants and how you can align. You need to work on how you can deliver. There is a very clear cut misalignment between you and her and you. You meditate on she's having the problem and she's rude with me. You meditate on that. That is what is the wrong meditations. You meditate on improving yourself. You meditate on how to come out of the situation. You focus on the issues what you got, take a learning lesson from that, and you move on. Don't focus or meditate on boss is giving a kind of rude with me. No, they can change the root because of the reason. So reason you try to resolve, you try to come. Everyone is basically standing up from their failures. You come out of your issues. You focus and meditate on your present situations, how better way you can handle. You take a help of some people who go to the people, find out, I mean, this is the situation, because it is also possible that you are on the one side of EI. So take other side help. You go there and you try to see where exactly is the problem. The problem is on the other side where you are basically locked in. Come out of that. I think I have Leo, is it okay?
Uh, yes, sir. As I discussed yesterday, I'm really curious since you are there and we had the opportunity to invite you for this session, and this is a very special topic for everyone. I think this is the first time we are getting the connection between the program and project management and the spirituality behind this. So I am really curious to know your thoughts on the most famous term called deja vu, the feeling that you have already experienced something that is actually happening for the first time. So it has happened lots of time when I'm going to some mall or some a new place, and then suddenly you get something feeling that, oh, it has happened with me before also, but it has never happened with you, it never happened with me. So I just want to know whether this is a bit is spiritual connection or a hallucinations. So what kind of feeling is this?
Yeah, it is obviously the database. Because your entire processing of your personality is taken some kind of past to present kind of experiences, right? Knowingly or unknowingly. For example, see, I have seen one kind of the series actually where he was a kind of investigator. He investigate by asking single simple questions: his eye movements, his lip movement, how he reacts, how he sit, how he that. So he has developed his abilities on that, and he focuses on that. So what happened in your case or everybody's case? You get everything in front of you, but you focus on certain things. But what happened is your consciousnesses has recorded those things. If you meditate on those particular certain things, you will recall that, I mean, your consciousnesses are taking those particular things also, depending on your focus and the the mindset. So in your case, what happened is basically your past kind of situation has also come up, where those memories are basically given to you. Maybe we are believing on the the one life, but then when I'm basically I'm talking from previous lives also. Your personality is built up into a kind of past life to present life. You take the two example who born on the same date, they have different kind of personality. All the school, go to the school, you'll find all our birth dates are same. Their personalities are different. Backbenchers different, front benchers different. Everyone is different. They start from their past life presence. That's how you build up. From you start from some kind of mechanism, and then you build up on your experiences, surroundings, upbringings, and all that. So somewhere something is recorded. That one is coming in front of you.
That is what actually there is a small part where you get to know, oh, I have felt this. So I have discussed these things with my colleagues in office, and then so that oh, that is just and that is just deja vu. So I was just thinking, but what is deja vu? So I'm really happy that you could answer my question, and that is what I am experiencing right now. So thank you, Sunil sir, for this very much for this very interesting and spiritually inclined session. So Sunil, can you please share the certificate of appreciation, please?
Yes, sir. Please unshare the screen.
One second.
So Sunil sir, please accept a certificate of appreciation from our end as a small token of thanks for accepting our invitation to present today's PM Forum session, and which is signed by our President Jacob Zakaria. So please accept it, and looking forward to invite you for presenting other interesting topics.
Sure.
And
Thanks a lot for this one. Send it to me over the email if it is possible.
yes, it will be emailed to you by next week.
Yeah.
So, and also the attendees who have joined today's session, feedback form link for sharing your feedback is already shared. Please note down the PDU code shared in chat box, and you can claim two PDUs for this session. So, thank you once again, Sunil sir, for your insightful session, and thank you to all the attendees who joined this session. Meet you in next session soon. Bye bye.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. Bye. हे हे